Well, hello, table family. It is Monday. It's Yolanda. That means it is time for another episode of Everybody at the Table. I've had a busy week, an exciting week, and I got a lot to tell you about. So sit down, get your coffee, get your tea, get ready. Let's chat about this thing called everybody being at the table. So, first of all, I want to say that if you've been listening, then you've heard Bruce Carter at least twice on this podcast. He is a small business owner that helps people with credit repair and to work through their child support issues through the courts. And I told you that Bruce was running for city council in our small town. I want you to know that Bruce won his election. Woohoo for Bruce. We are so excited. He won by 2 votes. Okay? So I need you to know that voting matters. Every vote counts. Bruce is the first African-American male voted into this post ever. He is literally Black history in the making. And so I'm super excited that Bruce is taking on this role. I'm glad I'm here to help him in anything he needs in owning this space, because we know it's not going to be easy. Being the first of anything is not easy. So please congratulate Bruce in the comments. Woohoo for Bruce. The second thing that I want to let you know, which we'll talk more about in the episode, my family and I will occasionally do houseless feeds here in Atlanta, and we have one coming up for the Thanksgiving season. So more to come later on in the episode on how you can support or help if you are interested. So this week on the table, I'm going to highlight an experience I had personally that I'm still recovering from, because it just zapped my energy in a good way. I was actually a part of this experience. I think you should know about it. I spent some time in Florence, South Carolina this week at a conference, Diversity Works. I told you I was going. I went, and those people drained me in a good way. They took out virtue in the experience, and I'm still recovering from it, but it was super exciting. One of the things I want to note, and I titled this episode, and I hope it's not offensive to the people of Florence that may be listening, and it is Finding Diversity Where You Least Expect It. And the reason that I focused on that was because in the national narrative, you hear a lot about the divisiveness of the South and the Bible Belt, and you wouldn't expect to find a diversity conference in the town of Florence, South Carolina. It's a community that's quietly building something beautiful. It's led by an African-American woman, Mayor Barnes, who is in her first year of leadership. A beautiful spirit, a Baptist preacher, and she's doing great work in this place. We hear so much noise nationally about division and outrage and people being pitted against each other that we think this is all there is. And actually, when you're living this out, people are really doing the work of living together, and not just living together, but wanting to understand one another. When you get beyond the headlines and into the real world, you see something different. I saw people just living, working, learning, doing the work without the national spotlight. I want to talk first about my mentor, Ms. Doris Lockhart. Ms. Doris started a staffing franchise back in the 80s when most doors were closed to Black women in business. Like, meeting Ms. Doris is like meeting the sweet little granny next door. But when I tell you this is a woman of steel, sharpness, shrewdness, she is the virtuous woman who knows how to care for her home, but also do business. She's a beautiful spirit that has built something beautiful in Florence, South Carolina. She started by seeing a need for young people and wanted to fill it. And that's what she still does today. She's one of those people whose name carries weight, not because she's loud, but because she does the work that she speaks about. Then there's her niece, my friend, Glacy Mason. Glacy left DC after retiring from her federal job and moved back to Florence. She's a part of the community there, and she didn't just move back to retire. She moved back to help with the work. She's not on the sidelines, but she's actually the editor-in-chief of Diversity Works, which is the magazine extension of this movement. It's people like Lacey that reminds me that diversity doesn't just live in big cities and corporate spaces, but it lives in how we show up every day and how we choose to treat people. I would be remiss not to mention the convener of this amazing conference, Miss Diana Murphy-Eady, who hosted the conference, who put together this amalgamation of beautiful people and is the reason we were all there. In this climate where people are scared to even say the word diversity, she packed a room with more than 100 people to learn about this work. Companies like Reese's Foods, that's RUIZ, and go look up their brands because we need to support these companies that are doing this work. Reese's Foods sent 2 tables of people to this conference and was the platinum sponsor. And y'all know that means money sponsor of the conference. And the fact that they're still supporting, sending their leaders, sending their employees to learn about this work is absolutely amazing. Spherion Staffing, the Medical School of the University of South Carolina, GE Healthcare. These are some of the organizations that I saw that showed up, and we should put our dollars toward these companies because they are boldly still doing the work. And I have to tell you about Robin Lewis. Robin's story really touched me. She's a white Christian woman, a coach whose brand is Christianity, who long before DEI was a headline, she started an interracial Bible study. And it's been going for 9 years. I'm not going to tell her full story because I'm going to have her on the podcast because I think she has something interesting to share and teach us. But that is a story that blessed my heart. Robin is a beautiful soul, a beautiful spirit, doing amazing work. And I think we need to call out the people who are going against the grain. This woman in the South who is standing up and saying, I want my life to look like heaven. When I spoke at the conference, I shared that DEI just can't be something we say. It has to be how we live. And I told the story of 2 of my closest friends, one who's Laotian American and one who's Nigerian American. Y'all know, if you hang with me, my girls, we do life together. We met at work, but we learned to love each other and have a growing sisterhood. They've taught me so much about culture, perspective, and grace. And even when I travel, I try to do it differently. I just don't go for photos and food. I learn where I'm going before I go, and I immerse myself in the experiences to know their traditions, their stories, their struggles. And my work is to honor them while I'm there and when I leave. And then the last thing I started off telling you about is the one thing that I do to stay grounded in the work is occasionally, it's been a couple of years since we've done, my family and I go out and we feed the houseless. We've been doing it for some time. And this year, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we're going to go out again. Instead of spending our money with these folks who don't care about us, we're going to go out and help the folks that we see every day in our community who are having a tough time. And we want to be of service to them. If you are interested in doing that, hit the comments. I'm in. I want to help with the houseless feed. Or if you want to do this in your community, we can talk about how you do it in your community as well. Before I wrap up, I want to highlight someone who embodies the heart of this work, an educator, an influencer, Sonia White. Watch this video about Sonia. It will bless you.
Early September, I sat down with my assistant principal and I asked him what are some staple traditions in the Hispanic culture that I can try to duplicate for my class for Hispanic Heritage Month. That's when we came up with a Mexican restaurant. We came up with hot cocoa one day and conchas. And after that meeting, I had enough confidence where I thought I could pull off a quinceañera. And I actually did, but not without the help of my family and friends. After each celebration, I began to get more and more excited because I knew after the restaurant, after the hot cocoa and conchas was coming the quince, and I knew it was going to be grand. We even had a private chef, which was so amazing. This is my first time interacting with a private chef myself. We danced, we did traditions, we ate cake, In September, I started telling my class that I was 14 and I would turn 15 soon. So I started off sending an invitation home to my families, and then I reached out to my besties and I said, hey, can y'all buy my girls dresses? I found them matching dresses on Amazon with tiaras, and my besties purchased all their dresses. Needless to say, having best friends and family who support my class is priceless. So then we have a Zen lounge. This lounge is just for the teachers. I cleared everything out, and one of my besties and my parents helped me decorate. Most of the stuff came from Amazon and the dollar store, and I just wanted it to be a little bit fancy for them. My parents supported me in so many ways. They sent candy bags to stuff their gift bags. They sent candy for the candy table. They sent food. I had these bags made with my face on them and these Capri Suns and water bottles. They also bought me a piñata and different items that I needed to pull this off. I am very, very thankful and blessed for my parents, for my friends and family, and also for my administration. I always say this, but where you work matters. The support of your administration can push you into next level teaching. It is always great to have someone who believes in your dreams and who sees you as a teacher or any other profession. So I hope you enjoyed our Kensei. Bye.
Sonia teaches mostly Hispanic students, and during Hispanic Heritage Month, she created the most beautiful classroom experience to celebrate them. So don't let the headlines scare you. The work is still happening, sometimes quietly, sometimes unseen, but I want you to know it's happening. It's happening because if you do the work, then they can't die. Keep showing up, keep being the work, and keep being the light. I hope this inspired you as much as it inspired me. It's great going into the holiday season, even though I'm personally not supporting spending my dollars in this moment because I think we have more important things to do. I wish each of you an amazing week of finding the light in this dark place. More importantly, being the light in what can seem like sometimes a dark place and dark times. Hit the comments if you're interested in supporting the Houseless Feed. So much more to come. Until next time, take care and dine well.